Hello friends, welcome to a new lecture today on pseudohypoaldosteronism type 1. This pseudohypoaldosteronism type 1 is an autosomal recessive disorder. Here we have a principal cell which is present in the collecting duct. So in the principal cell in the collecting duct, normally we have a channel called as epithelial sodium channel. This epithelial sodium channel will help in reabsorption of sodium and excretion of potassium. But if due to some reason, this is one thing, and in this epithelial sodium channel, this reabsorption of sodium and potassium mainly occurs due to the binding of aldosterone to the aldosterone receptors. That is, there are mineralocorticoid receptors. If aldosterone comes into the principal cell of collecting duct and it binds to the mineralocorticoid receptor. Whenever aldosterone binds to the mineralocorticoid receptor, this will activate the process of DNA replication to RNA. RNA will result in formation of protein which is responsible for this epithelial sodium channel production. So there is increased production of epithelial sodium channels. Because of this increased production of epithelial sodium channels, this will result in sodium reabsorption and potassium excretion. Now, due to any reason, if there is defect or mutation in the epithelial sodium channel, when there is this epithelial sodium channel has alpha, beta and gamma subunits. If there is any mutation in the alpha, beta, gamma subunit of epithelial sodium channel, there is no reabsorption of sodium and there is no excretion of potassium. So there is increased excretion of sodium in the urine. So there is hyponatremia in the blood and hyperkalemia in the blood. Along with sodium, it will also take its friend water in the urine. Then, if there is mutation in this aldosterone, that is mineralocorticoid receptor. If there is any mutation in the mineralocorticoid receptor mutation, even then there is no formation of epithelial sodium channels, and as a result sodium is excreted and potassium is present in the blood. So there is hyponatremia and hyperkalemia occurs in this condition. And then this is also an autosomal recessive condition. So it is seen in neonatal period. So here the baby presents with vomiting. Acidosis is present and there is failure to thrive. The baby presents with failure to thrive. Remember, there is one extrarenal manifestation which is very important in this hypoaldosteronism type 1. Here, this impaired epithelial sodium channels is not just present in principal cell of collecting duct, but this epithelial sodium channel is also impaired in the skin and the lungs. If there is impaired epithelial sodium channels in the skin, then there is excess loss of sodium and chloride in the sweat. In the sweat glands, there is increased loss of sodium and chloride. If there is mutation in epithelial sodium channels in the lungs, this will result in increased fluid in the airways. In the bronchi, there will be increased fluid which is deposited in the bronchi, and this will result in lower respiratory tract infections. Okay, this is an autosomal recessive disease, and there is also a few people who have autosomal dominant presentation of this disease. is also noted. In this autosomal dominant presentation, one important thing is there is no extrarenal manifestations. Rest all are similar except that there is no extrarenal manifestations seen in this autosomal dominant disease. Treatment is we can give aggressive salt replacement. We will have to give sodium replacement, and we will have to treat the hyperkalemia which is present. This is about pseudohypoaldosteronism type 1. Thank you for watching my lecture. Thank you.